Always has to be a shot at somebody.
No.
They're never clean.
They have to run. That's the only shot they have.
They do it for 82 games. We're about to find out.
He already has shown what he's capable of.
Did surprise me. I thought we were going to hang in there.
This makes me think that we do need to be humble.
I actually think you're the only one who deserved that.
Ooh.
Whenever it ends on that, John Giannis, you deserve that beating. I might have to get Ahmed on changing that ending because it stings a little bit more after a loss. Not a beating tonight. Boston loses at the buzzer. Reversal of fortunes tonight from Friday night's historic monumental win, according to Bobby Manning. Or sorry. Yeah, Friday night's win. I forget what day it is now. Celtics dropped one in Chicago, second night of a back-to-back. What was this? They lost by, what was the score, Bobby? You didn't put it in the friggin' lower third. 114, 111.
Back-to-back.
Yeah. Jaylen Brown ties it up. Nice little drive off of what should have been a putback dunk to put Chicago up 4. Little 4-point swing. But let's go through that last play, Bobby. It looked like Hauser and Hugo got kind of caught up on the pick. Derek White had to kind of make up for Hauser getting lost there, and Cato was slow to rotate, and Herter got the corner 3 to put Chicago up with 0.2 seconds left on the clock. And I feel like NBA's got to figure out this whole 0.2. You can't score under 0.3 because it felt like maybe Pritchard did get it off in time. Who knows? But he missed it just anyways. And so the Celtics take an L tonight in Chicago as New England braces for this winter storm.
They better get back quick.
Is within hours. I know they're going to be quick out of the locker room tonight, I'm sure. We have nobody in Chicago. If you watched last night,
Good reason.
Noah was 50-50 on leaving Brooklyn and heading to Chicago. She chose door number 2 and headed back to Boston. I would say very smartly so. She was a little bit, you could tell she was losing her voice a little bit last night, and I think she fully lost it today, so she's not going to join us tonight. It's me. It's Bobby. I see Sherrod Blakely hanging out. He's got the sleep mask on, and honestly, I wouldn't blame him for just putting it on and just nodding off at. There he goes. I'm going to toss him on right now, Bobby. There he is. Yeah, fully. He's going to get his 8 hours tonight because Sherrod.
Is it over yet? I had this crazy dream that the Chicago Bulls beat the Celtics.
Yeah, no, that was just
no.
That was not just a dream, unfortunately.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Snap back to reality, as they say.
Oh.
It almost worked out that way, Sherrod. It felt like Celtics just rimmed out of a bunch of shots there down the stretch.
Yeah.
Both teams really did, but ultimately came up short. Jaylen Brown did his thing as much as he could. Finished with 33, 8, and 5 on a 14 of 28 from the field. But, where was that Robin that we talk about, Bobby? Derek White, not really anywhere to be found tonight as much as you needed him to be. Again, 15, 7, and 7, but 5 of 18 from the field, 3 of 11 from 3.
The numbers look better than his play. The numbers look way better than his actual play.
Exactly. If you're just looking at the box score, you're going to say, oh, not bad. But excuse me for coughing. I'm a little bit under the weather myself. A little hero ball tonight. But goes back to what I have been wrong about in the past, but it's very, very difficult for this team to win behind one player. That's the case for most NBA teams, but specifically with this team, Sherrod and Bobby, Jaylen Brown said it last night. The talent's not, they're not the most talented team in the NBA, but guys need to step up on these nights and help Jaylen Brown out. This was a winnable game against a team that, again, Chicago's on a 4-game winning streak now, but I don't think anyone thought that Celtics shouldn't have won this game. So it's a little bit of a kind of a missed one there when Jaylen Brown goes for 33 and you just don't have that number 2 guy that's kind of right on his heels.
Yeah, well, Anthony Simons gave you 21 tonight.
He did.
He bounced back, yeah.
Yeah, but I think what they needed more than anyone, someone to play above and beyond what they normally do. Like Anthony Simons giving you 21 points, that's really not all that shocking or surprising or frankly that significant of a leap from what he normally does. You needed a guy like Luka Garza or Hugo or Kate. And really, I don't know how much you guys are planning to talk about it, but Cato was horrible in this game.
I don't know what they – so
this might have been the worst game he's played all season.
Yeah, so we should
That's after
start.
fouling out, and that's after
He was-
not getting the start tonight. Does that have anything to do with that?
That was
I
weird.
hope not, because he got to start in the second half, and then we found out why he didn't start the first half or the beginning.
You know
of
what
the
I
game.
said? You know what I said though? After I said last night's show, and Bobby, you kind of alluded to it. The rumors are out there that the Celtics are in the market for a quote unquote big time center. Whether or not they get one, whether or not they make any moves, the fact that they're looking tells you one thing. They know that this is a position of need.
Yeah.
And I think last night, Bobby, you said it perfectly. How can they depend on that position if both of their centers are going to foul out? And I think Joe was frustrated at Cater's play yesterday, fouling out in that game.
Yeah, he was
And-
livid on the court. You could see on the
course.
sideline after
Yeah,
that
I
sequence.
shouldn't say I think. I mean, it was if you watched it, you saw it. And I'm really not that surprised at all. This is right. I mean, Cater could be right back in he probably won't be after the game he played tonight, but what I'm trying to say is we've seen these guys going in and out of line of support. Almost nobody is safe. Obviously, Brown's safe. Derek White's safe. After that, though, I mean, I know Pritchard's playing well. He's probably safe, but there was chatter about maybe Simon's starting over Pritchard at some point this season. So Joe Mazzulla is not worried about sitting a guy or benching a guy or not starting the right guy, and especially at that center position. That is a fluid position. And, Amari Williams went in there, and I think Joe Mazzulla made a statement. It's like, hey, Amari went in there last night, picked up for you two guys who couldn't stay on the court. And we're gonna start him. And it didn't really work out. I shouldn't say it didn't work out, but it's not like Amari played 30 minutes and dominated the game and Wally pipped Keita by any stretch. Neither one of those guys either took back the starting role either, I would say, tonight.
Well, I think that's what you were hoping for if you were Joe. That what happened last night would be either the wake up call or the bat sign that, hey, nothing is guaranteed. Even if you look around and you don't see a lot of bodies to compete with, but don't assume that you're just going to roll out there and be the guy. Now, I know Keita has not been feeling great lately. We know that. But that being said, the minute you make it up in your mind to step between those lines, you are officially saying, I'm good. I'm going to be okay to play. And the thing about Keita that really bugged me was that he was bad around the rim. He was bad defending on the perimeter. There was nothing discernible about his game. I mean, you look at the third quarter. The first three plays Chicago ran were at Keita. Either it was around the rim or it was getting him out of position defensively where he's giving up a wide open three to Smith kid. And Joe called the timeout, took him out, and in comes Luka. Keita has to be better. And I think that if it's in your mind that the coach might be looking for someone to replace you, what do? You play better with the minutes you get. That's what you do. You do everything to make that a difficult decision for that coach to make. And frankly, the way Keita played in this game and the way he played the last game, I'm hoping that this is all related to whatever illness that he's dealing with and that he'll snap out of it in another game or two. But if this is like basically the clock striking midnight on Keita, and this is pretty much what we've seen is the best that we're going to get, then Brad and Joe have every reason in the world to be thinking we got to do something and we got to do something quick.
Yeah,
This was really bad Keita out there tonight.
Right, and he wasn't great last game either on Friday. I don't know. I wish we did have someone on the ground there to ask Joe what the plan was there, because you're right, Jimmy. It's weird you start Amari there. I'm sure part of it was the message, but I also wonder, because Garza was the first sub, whether the plan was to have Keita in case of an emergency tonight, which didn't end up happening because Luka turned his ankle like seconds into his stint.
You think Keita should have started? I mean, do you think Garza should have started?
Probably. I get Joe wanting to send the message of support to these guys and, giving them a nod for their big nights and all that sort of stuff. I just don't understand having Keita available in a game like this if the plan was to give him an off night. Like, I guess you want him in case of emergency. Emergency happens when Garza turns his ankle there. That's how I read that situation and Keita's performance in this one.
Wait,
they
Bobby,
do go
hold
back
on.
to Garza a little later, but
Very important comment. CKNS Media are tools. I just want to make sure everyone sees that from Scorch Source. Thank you, Scorch Source. We're not CKNS Media, though. Try again, bud. And by the way, you can click that little X in the corner if you have a problem with the show. No one's making you watch. Anyways, back to your point.
Yeah, I hope we get some clarity on that situation.
I got time
there,
tonight,
'cause-
Sherrod. It's Saturday. I got nowhere to be. We're all snowed in here, so
We're not going anywhere
comfy.
anytime soon.
Get
Let's
comfy.
say Cato was part of the plan tonight. So the plan was Amari starts, Garza's the first guy in, and then Cato's bare. I wouldn't have understood that just from a game plan standpoint, and even from a mentality building standpoint. Like I don't think Cato slipped enough to drop him to your third center necessarily in this game.
He's not
So
your third center.
I'm not worried
That
about
ended.
him. I do think these last two games give you a good look at how fragile the success of that position has been this year, and they've gotten a ton of consistency there. And outside of the month Garza stat, those two have been sensational in tandem. But tonight it all crumbled, and they had a lot of trouble with Chicago's physicality, size, similar to Brooklyn on Friday, who beat them up on the boards. I thought Vucevic gave them hell in this game. I thought the double big combination in general was a challenge for the Celtics in this one. Smith had 14 and 9, as you mentioned, Sherrod. Vucevic with 16 and 7, and on the offensive glass ends 8-8 in this game. So that was not an area where the Celtics were able to take advantage as they typically do here.
Yeah, but a lot of this, I mean, if we're being really honest about it, is just a perfect storm for Chicago to win this game. I mean, they've been playing their best basketball of the season right now. They're catching the Celtics on a back-to-back of a double overtime game. The Celtics' first double overtime game. The Celtics, as you pointed out, Bobby, you're spot on. Their big man situation is very delicate, and it doesn't take a whole lot for that thing to break down. And I thought, you look at Luka's ankle issues, Cater hasn't been feeling great. And then beyond that, you don't really have a whole lot. Mari has shown flashes, but, if this were Sioux City, if this were one of those G League teams, you feel good about him being out there. But this is a Chicago team that has the kind of front court physicality and inside out game that Amari's just not used to seeing. And so I love the fact that the Celtics gave themselves a chance to win, and frankly, they should have won this game. They needed someone who has been in the building. They needed a Hauser, a Pritchard, someone who has been in these type of, rock fights to give them a little something more than Jaylen did. Because Jaylen, he didn't have a perfect game, but he did a hell of a lot when you consider the amount of minutes he played last game and the weight of this team that he had to carry tonight. Because no one really had it going for them other than Simons. And Simons had it going in spurts like he normally does, but you didn't really have that one guy that put this team on their back for like 3, 4, 5 minutes the way they needed it to. They just didn't have it.
Yeah, and then the other guy in the mix at that position, Josh Minott, missed his 10th straight game, I believe, tonight. And there's
I lost count, Bobby. Not going to lie.
Maybe 11.
I put him in the same. To me, when I think about Josh Minott right now, I put him in the same boat as Jason Tatum. He's out, and whenever he comes back, he's coming back. I don't know when the hell that's going to be.
He might come back in April. He might not.
Man, he was. I mean, everyone's forgotten about him at this point. He was a big part.
There's a reason why, Bobby.
I know. I don't.
Yeah,
no one knows how he got hurt.
He's got the ankle injury that we're not quite sure is an ankle injury. But I mean, I don't know why they'd lie about it. So whatever. Maybe he'll come back. Maybe not. But I mean, there was a time, Bobby, when they were putting him in.
He was your backup center.
Exactly. And so if they are finding that, the traditional bigs aren't quite cutting it, which I'm not saying that's the case. I think Garza's been playing well beyond what anyone thought he'd be able to play.
You're getting your money's worth out of Luka Garza
I'm certainly not giving up on Garza. So, I mean, realistically, you might toss him in the starting line. Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, that's the other half of it, right? So he rolled an ankle or sprained an ankle tonight too, right? So, you wait and find out about that. When's their next game? Is it Monday?
Monday. Yeah.
Monday.
The Drew Holiday return game. We'll get to that in a little bit. Is
he playing yet?
He is.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And they're playing good. They're better than
they beat you last time. His last game yesterday. Yes. His last game yesterday, 21 points, 7 assists, 9 of 14 shooting.
It's the availability, not his ability.
Exactly.
But it's good to see him back in the court.
I
still think that was probably the move the Celtics needed to make, but it's neither here nor there. What else in this game can you take out of it? I mean, obviously the disappointing bigs moment. Sherrod, what do you think of that last play breakdown? A little bit of a breakdown there. Kind of the opposite of what we saw in execution-wise last night.
You're talking about on defense, right? Where Herder got the wide open three.
Yeah, looked like Hugo and Hauser kind of got caught up at the top, and
there was some confusion. Yeah, there was some confusions defensively on their wings where clearly someone just didn't get the memo about rotating it, and that's all it takes is one person to be out of position. It's just a domino effect, and it happens. I mean, we saw it happen last night against Brooklyn. That's how Hugo got that wide open three. There was a defensive breakdown.
Oh, that was a huge breakdown. Yeah.
Yeah. And that kind of stuff happens, all the time when you're talking about teams that don't have that they don't have that institutional knowledge of how to play well with each other. You're not talking about guys who've been in the league 8, 9, 10 years who just know how to play and know situations and scenarios, where to be, where not to be. You're talking about guys who are still kind of learning this stuff. And they knew that they should have rotated, but knowing what you're supposed to do and actually doing it, not always the same. So, yeah, but a big part of me feels that the game shouldn't have come down to that. There were opportunities I thought the Celtics had to really gain control of this game, and they just missed shots. And they missed defensive rotations, and frankly, they allowed Kobe White specifically to get going. He's one of those guys that if he sees a couple shots go down, lights out, you're in for a big night from him. And that's exactly what happened. They gave him a chance to get into a little bit of a rhythm, and he made him pay.
Yeah, he did make them pay. This just feels like one of those games, though. It's like we're probably not going to talk about this game ever again after tonight.
We won't.
I can't. Bobby, you're muted. I just can't imagine it meaning much one way or the other. I mean, it is what it is. I do wish that Derek White, after having the night off last night, you kind of expected and hoped that he would bring it a little bit tonight, right? Every reason to. That remains one of my bigger concerns from the season so far. If we have to, pick a pro and a con of the year, I think the con to me is just the inconsistency of Derek White. That isn't to say that I don't believe in him. I know what he's capable of. Like, we've all seen it. We all know how good he can be. And so I think it's a little frustrating in a way, or it's, I don't know. I think I expected a more level production from Derek White and a more higher bit of it too. And I think, as good as the Celtics have been, they could be, believe it or not, they could be even better probably on some of those games where White hasn't really been able to kind of pick up that second or third scoring option for them.
Well, I think there's two things that I think about with Derek White this year and just the issues that he's had with inconsistency. First, as you pointed out, Jimmy, he's in a role that he's not used to. He's never been counted upon to be as impactful as I think he was this season, knowing that Tatum was out. And, just the back end of that, no one benefits more from Jason Tatum being on the floor than Derek White. We joked about the kind of the bromance that those guys have and how cool and close they are, and that's real. But outside of just keeping it purely about the basketball, Jason Tatum's presence does so much for Derek White. It takes some of the ball handling pressure off him. Some of the defensive pressure is off of him. The spacing. He's getting the ball in spots where he can be most effective, where he has been most effective. And without that, Jaylen Brown has had a great season, has been a big part of their success. But Derek White doesn't get the same benefits from having Jaylen Brown on the floor as he does with Jason Tatum. And I think it's been a difficult recalibration, if you will, for Derek White, and it's been very clunky. Has not been nothing even remotely close about his play this year has been smooth. That doesn't mean he's a bad player. It doesn't mean he's a bad fit. It just means that this particular version of the Boston Celtics without Jason Tatum does not amplify the best version of Derek White. And it's taken. I've been really optimistic and hopeful that the further we get into the season, the more he'll just kind of recalibrate and figure out how to really be high impact Derek White. And he still makes an impact, but not nearly as much as we've seen him before. And I don't know if that's going to return anytime soon that doesn't involve a Jason Tatum return.
Yeah, I feel like we're having a lot of the same conversations after these games when it comes to him. And the disappointing thing tonight is that he got the night off yesterday. Right. So he rests in Brooklyn. You're expecting him to lead the way in many respects. And it's actually Jaylen who, credit to him, he was talking adamantly about making himself available for this one. I think he was probable to start the day with the hamstring pain or whatever they've been saying to potentially line him up with some rest here. So I'm sure this is a night that the Celtics wanted Jaylen to rest, that he said, no, I'm playing. I'm going to try to give us something here. And he gave them more than enough to win this game with the 33. So he was great. Derek, not as much. And I'll say that with the caveat, and I'm sure this is what Joe will say too, that White and Pritchard, who wasn't at his best either in this one, I think 14 combined for those two from 3, also had 14 assists and 1 turnover combined. So the ball control was exceptional for the Celtics in this one. They forced 15 turnovers. They only turned it over 6 times as a team. I think they had 1 until like the middle point of the second quarter. So they're doing great in that respect. The passing's been strong, and the overall court awareness and point guard play, and they've done most of the ball handling for this team, has been solid. So it's tough to kill them in that respect. White finished a +1, the only one among the starters to finish this one positive. And we obviously got a steal and a block as well here. So it's just the shooting. And I think for him, and I've said this, you got to find a balance between just trying to get shots off, which I know is a big goal of this offense, winning the possession battle. I think they won the possession battle in this one, I want to say. Yeah, 99-85. So I think ultimately in this one, it was shooting that swung this game in Chicago's direction. And the missed shots by White and Pritchard in particular put the Celtics in position to lose this game, because they did everything else. They shot more free throws than Chicago. They kept it pretty even in terms of made threes, more shots, offensive rebounds, even turnovers. You win that battle. So it's literally just the shooting that swings this game. And obviously a big 3 at the end that you give up on that botch rotation, as we've talked about here. So you are looking for White in his role this year to put a few more in the basket. And he's taken tough shots. And that's pretty much been the story of his season, is that he has been brutally inefficient from the field, because I think he's had to take so many difficult looks. And I guess what we can say, Jimmy, yes, he's a point guard. Yes, he's a floor general for this team. And yes, he's going to take care of the basketball, but with extra defensive attention as this team's second option when Tatum and Brown are out, this is the kind of shooting inconsistency you're probably going to see from him. And that's been the story of his season to this point. I mean, we talked about it a couple shows ago, Jimmy. The numbers for his season are shocking when you look at 39% from the field and 32% from 3. That is not what we expected from Derek this year.
No, not at all. And I mean, and if you watch the games, you can see it, because he's a guy that people had high expectations for, and again, they just know what you've seen what he's capable of. You know how good he can be. And I still have faith in Derek White. Don't get me wrong. I still want him out there on the court. I still think he makes smart decisions with the ball. I know that he's one of the best defensive guards in the NBA still, and shot blocking guards. And you still need him out there, but you just desperately need the scoring too. I mean, they can only get by so many times with Jaylen Brown giving you 30 plus and somebody kind of coming out of nowhere off the bench, or, deep in the rotation and playing, out of their minds. The recipe has to really be Brown, White, Pritchard in any sort of order. And you need at least 2 of those 3 guys to, give you what they're capable of giving you, if you want to beat the teams that you're going to have to beat, down the road, talking about the playoffs. Right now, Jaylen Brown said it. In this league, effort is 70%, right? That's regular season talk. Because in the playoffs, there should be no issue. If you're in the playoffs, you should have no issue getting up for that game, playing your hardest. At that point, the effort kind of balances out a little bit or evens off in some capacity. You're not going to have Boston beating up on, the Washington Wizards. It's not going to be that situation. You're going to have 2 teams that are obviously talented in some capacity, good enough to make the playoffs, and want to advance, right? They've gotten this far. That's the goal. They're in it to win it. It's not this, they wanted it more than us tonight. That's a lot of cop-out in the playoffs. You can't tell me the teams don't want it. You're going to have to hit the shots. You're going to have to execute. You're going to have to find ways, Bobby, to get that shot. And right now, I will say, if you're on PrizePicks, which you should be, you might have to go less on Derek White. I hate to say it, but PrizePicks is the place to be. for your fantasy sports. And this episode and all of our episodes on the Garden Report are brought to you by PrizePicks. Bobby, hit me with that video if you can. Thank you. Whether you're starting a new routine or making player picks for the first time, trying something new can be hard, but it's life and PrizePicks. It always feels good to be right. With high-pressure playoff matchups every week and elite hoops action almost every night, the action never stops, and PrizePicks lets you take control. Big football game on Sunday afternoon. All of New England will be watching. And if you want to take that entertainment level one notch higher, or maybe even a couple notches higher, download PrizePicks app today. Use the code CLNS. Get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. You know what? Download it now and get that $5 lineup out of the way so you can get the 50 for the games on Sunday. Use the code CLNS. Get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. Sunday football. We're snowed in here in New England. We have no reason to leave our couch, guys. And I know I'm going to be opening and closing my PrizePicks app, just making sure that, I've got my players all lined up that I want to play, and, more or less I'm going more on Drake May. Of course, I think he's due. I don't think the Pats have gotten this far because of Drake May in the playoffs. I think it's been a lot of defense, but I think he's going to prove some people wrong tomorrow. This is actually disgusting. I don't want to get too much into football right now because we're doing the read, but I'm hearing more Jarrett Stidham talk than I'm hearing Drake May talk, and it's absolutely disgusting. So anyways, download PrizePicks. Use
Less on Stidham
to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Thank you, PrizePicks. The good folks. Sherrod, you're muted. I can't hear you.
First, second.
I did go less than zero.
That's a great question. That's a great question.
Like, what's the baseline? Like, I mean, the dude hasn't thrown a pass since like Jimmy was in what sophomore at
seriously. I was cruising around Suffolk, man. I was cruising down Dern Street, dude. Sometimes PrizePicks does a promo where it's like the quarterback has to throw for 1 yard. I don't even know if I'd hit. I don't know if I'd hit.
Hold on.
I don't know if I'd hit more on Stidham if that was the promo.
I'd have to think about it.
I'd have to think about it. It's a gotcha one right there.
I don't know. I don't want to go into this one too overconfident, but yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in Stidham.
It's interesting because it seems like the public perception's starting to sway a little bit. I wonder if that's because of the national media, and they're trying to push this Stidham thing shove it down our throats.
It's that, Jimmy, but I think it's also the fact that, and you know how it is this time of year, we got so much damn time to kill between games. People are looking for stuff to
be yapping.
Yeah, exactly.
Like us.
Exactly.
We're killing time too after the Celtics dropped this game. Big Kess in the building on Saturday night.
Yeah, what'd Kess say here?
Yeah.
JP's role as the number 2 on this team hasn't truly been appreciated. D White's feeling that pressure and responsibility of what that role demands. Just keep at it.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll say this. There were nights where we would get criticized for not talking about Jaylen Brown because he didn't really do much one way or the other, right? That was a running joke on the show. Don't talk about Jaylen Brown, right? And now I'm wondering, if maybe he was more effective in those games than we noticed, because it's almost like
when I think of White, I'm always thinking of Tatum kicking out to him for the open three, him pump faking from the corner.
He wasn't kicking it out to Brown. We know that.
Late contest in the corner. He's up faking and going by a guy, getting into the lane, getting fouled. And one thing he's talked about throughout this year, because I've asked him a bunch about his struggles, and he loves going to the free throw line, seeing a couple go in. That feels like a way to get himself going. And a lot of these games, as we've talked about with this team, I think they only had 9. There were not a lot of fouls in this game. It was a quick one tonight. 9 for the Celtics, 8 for Chicago. Derek had 2. Which is tough if you're trying to get yourself out of a slump. You're mostly taking threes. I think that's another challenging part of his game, is that so many of them are high difficulty, long shots. 11 of his 18 tonight were from 3. So, I mean, that puts you at 2 of 7 from 2. Not great there either necessarily, but most of these misses are coming from 3. And that's the life he lives on this team. It was certainly part of his responsibility before, but now it feels like it's his primary responsibility in many ways. And between he and Brown, obviously this wasn't Sam's night after a few outrageously hot games.
Mhm.
Pritchard 1 of 3. You only had Simons shooting well from 3 in this one, and you really didn't get a ton. You got 47 up, but you really didn't get a ton to go in this game, at least compared to what
What's
Chicago did
Pritchard's
with 21.
problem? I don't want to let him off the hook either. I mean, you dropped
Yeah, more
30,
misses inside in this one. Yeah.
whatever the night before, and then I mean, I don't really understand just three three-pointer attempts. I mean, I think you got to get more up,
For sure.
in this game.
Yeah, and he ends this one 3 of 7 inside as well. So,
Mhm.
he had some misses in the lane. I know he said last night in Brooklyn that he missed a couple shots that he should have made around the basket. I saw one at least in this one as well. And you go back to the whole Simons thing too here. Like, he has it rolling for a lot of this one. Finally gets his game back on track here. Can you make him more central to what you're doing, particularly late in this game? I mean, he was off the floor for those final few minutes, I believe, right? And this just continues to be the trade-off we talk about here. And I don't think we're at a spot with Derek yet necessarily where you're saying, all right, Derek should be off the floor in the late stages of a game. But that Pritchard-Simons trade-off is always going to be there. And this was a Simons game rather than a Pritchard one, pretty clearly.
Yeah. And you're gonna have nights like that. And that's fine. But
yeah, Simons had the last 6 minutes.
Yeah. But the thing about nights like this, when we talk about just how fragile they are, particularly on the perimeter defensively, the defense against a 3-point shot has been an issue all year. And the teams, frankly, shoot the ball better against these guys than they normally do. And that's just, you can't allow that to happen on a night like this.
Every night.
Yeah. But specifically on nights where there's a chance that your offense may not be humming the way you want to because you just played double overtime less than 24 hours. So your defense has to be even more locked in. And that just wasn't the case. Kobe White, Patrick Williams, Giddey knocked down a shot or two, later in the game. I mean, you can't allow those guys to get into a flow. And around the rim, had no match, no answer for what's my guy name who's been there forever. Vucevic. There we go.
Yeah.
He was a problem. I mean, he was hitting them with the left hand, the right hand, the up and under, the face-up shot. He just got real comfortable, too damn comfortable. And it didn't matter whether it was Kata, Amari Williams, Luke, it didn't matter. You just can't let that stuff happen, particularly on nights when, again, that you're not at your full strength health-wise and energy-wise. So you've got to dig in defensively and really, really put the effort more than any other part of the game at that end of the floor, because that's your best shot of winning on those nights.
Yeah, Bobby, you think that, I mean, it's Monday morning quarterbacking it right now, but do you think that Simon should have got more burn in that fourth quarter, based on the way he was playing this one? And he stuck with Pritchard the whole way through, stuck with Hauser basically the whole way through.
Yeah, Pritchard missed, White 3 missed.
In there. Kept White in there.
3 miss.
Simons was one of the players that was kind of hitting shots tonight. And again, we've seen it plenty throughout the season, so it's not a surprise. But we've also seen him in situations stick with Simons when he's feeling it as of late. And so it kind of felt like Mazzulla got away from that a little bit. Maybe that was for defensive purposes. I don't know. But I think Simons went in for that 0.2 seconds left in the game, but I don't know if that really counts. But
I think outside of Jaylen, the Celtics were 1 for 5 in the final 6 minutes after Simon sat. White had a putback, decent play at that point in the game, but in a couple passes. But it was all Jaylen down the stretch. All their baskets, aside from that White putback over the last 6 minutes, were Jaylen, who also had an offensive foul, also had a 3-point miss. But he was good enough, and we've seen it at times this year, right? It becomes a Jaylen show down the stretch, and he's finding his matchups, and he's attacking in isolation, and that becomes your game plan down the stretch. Obviously, he tied the game with a great transition take with 14 seconds to go. So he gave you enough. Ultimately, your defense on that final play and a couple shots, probably one of them alone gets you a win, or at least forces overtime in this game. You just need a little more offense in this one, and that goes back to, we praised Joe for the field yesterday, hit every mark, and this one, not enough Simons late in particular, not enough Hugo. I'd say not enough Walsh. Especially if you're not going to have the shooting in this one, do you go more of like a hustle offensive rebounding direction? You only get 8 in this one on the offensive glass. In a game where you miss a lot of shots, I'm sure the percentage wasn't very good in this one. I can't believe Mari got the start, Jimmy, but we did not see much Hugo in this one.
No, we didn't, and a little bit surprised. But again, I don't know why. I don't know why I'm surprised because I don't know what Joe's thinking, right? I mean, but you can't really question him. He does his thing. Hugo's been one of those guys all year in the lineup, out of the lineup, starting.
He was a +7 in this one.
Yeah. Only Jordan Walsh had a better plus-minus.
Yeah. Can't look at the plus-minus all the time, though. You got to just watch it.
Well, when Hugo was out there, he was making plays.
I agree. I agree with. He's just involved, right? He's finding ways to affect the game.
And good things typically happen.
You got to ride that, yeah. I think his style of play is more along the lines of this team's identity right now. They just have to be, right? It just goes with who they are. And I think Joe knows that Hugo is such a raw, he's so raw still. He doesn't really have a game that it's probably easier to put him in and out of lineups because it's like a kid, throw him out there, let him, get his feet wet. All right, take him out.
That's a good point here.
So what's this? The Walrus was Jason 101. I always see him on. He's a good fan of the show. He's in here a lot. Second night of a back-to-back. Hugo only 19. Crazy stamina and cardio. He should have been in there more. I agree. Great point.
11 minutes on a second night of a back-to-back, and he should. Yeah.
After the shot he had to. If you're going to reward Amari, I'm not saying.
Yeah.
Saying it's all about rewards, but there were a lot of reasons why Hugo could have played more tonight.
And if Garza couldn't give you his usual productivity in this one, you saw Hugo play center late in the Brooklyn game.
You weren't getting much. You weren't really getting much from anybody else. What was Hauser giving you? What was White giving you? What were these guys giving you? You could have found ways to just put them in and see what works, see what sticks. So it could have been one of those games. And again, second night of a back-to-back, you're kind of allowed to get funky with rotations and with who you give minutes to because you're just trying to make sure everybody gets out of there unscathed.
Yeah. So bit of a clunker here.
Shireman only got 6 too. I mean, that's another guy that
you guys starts
hype up whenever you can, and then he gets 6 minutes, for whatever reason,
Yeah, just weird lack of energy guys in this one. And Garza's, I feel like, been the most consistent, productive of them. He goes down early in this one and isn't himself. So you had to find someone else to fill that. Yeah, but I get it, right? You want to play bigger against Chicago. They were going double big. They were beating you up physically, but you also got to play to your strengths to some degree too. So definitely some second guesses from this one. A big element of missed shots is my takeaway here. Not concerned overly by this. It certainly could have been back-to-back losses for them. So it's all the more great that you pulled out the one in Brooklyn that you did there. But they've been prone to have these lackluster performances against mediocre to bad teams this year. Again, if you don't show up, if you don't have the hustle plays, if you don't have the intensity, Joe has even said it this year, you're prone to lose to anybody. And Chicago's certainly not exempt. They're more than good enough to beat you and got some good performances across the board. I mean, all but one Bulls player who played in this one scored in double figures, and that guy had 10 assists, Josh Giddey. So pretty balanced, fast, aggressive, physical performance for the Bulls here, who do play well from time to time, believe it or not.
I'm done with this game, Bobby. I got nothing else to say.
I'm so done with this game.
Yeah.
We just
escaped 38 minutes of our best effort here.
I wasn't there. Noah wasn't there.
Yeah.
I bet. I think it's like feels like of -25 in Chicago right now. Something like that.
Damn.
You can probably feel that in the gym tonight.
Yeah, you're right. It certainly looked like it.
On a back-to-back too. I think Grandy said they got in at 4 a.m. This was a schedule loss.
Schedule loss too then.
Yeah, if you ever have seen one. And I felt that way tonight coming into this one. I had a good sense that they were going to lose. So there you go. You have them sometimes on the schedule, and now they're home for 4 straight games. And
some very winnable games coming up here.
Yeah, I think Portland, who you did lose to last time, Atlanta, who you smoked last time. Who's the Friday game this week? Is it Dallas?
I don't know if Dallas is Friday, but I know they're coming.
Yeah.
Friday's the Kings.
Kings.
Oh,
certainly
Kings.
Winnable.
Come on. Yeah.
And then You got another injury break yesterday. Giannis is going to miss the game on
Bucks.
Sunday against them again after another calf sprain here, and who knows if we see him again this season.
Yeah.
Giannis is an interesting one. You want to? Yeah, there you are. You already got it up there. Yeah, I asked him, it's 4 to 6 weeks, calf sprain. We know where the Bucks are in the standings. We know like the drama that's been kind of going on there in Milwaukee that's kind of been brewing for a bit. They're borderline, like they might have to tank, and they might have to get rid of Giannis. They might have to do him a solid at this point. Honestly, I think they probably owe it to him, and they might have to go in complete opposite direction because, well, they're really not going to have a choice anyways once they get rid of Giannis, unless they can get, a nice couple of young players back, which I'm not sure what. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of teams calling, so it's kind of hard to guess what the return will be. But they're either going to go with the picks route, and I'm sure they probably want to get into this upcoming draft, right?
Yeah.
So that might compel them to move a little bit faster on this than maybe they typically would.
Yeah, and they have. This became clear to me yesterday. They have rights to their own pick, the worst of theirs or the Pelicans from the Drew Holiday trade, which the Hawks got rights to from the Derek Queen trade. So they do have rights to their own pick because the Pelicans are so horrible. And they're not going to be worse than the Pelicans, I don't think. And if they are, the Pelicans aren't going to be much better. So if the draft started tonight and all those lottery spots stayed the same, they'd be picking 8th. So it is a feasible situation, especially with Giannis's injury now and the length of time he's going to miss here, for them to tank. And if you're not going to figure it out this year, if it's going to cost you,
and let's be honest, why would he even come back? He misses the next, let's call it 5 weeks. They're already, where are they in the standings? They're already
one of the worst teams in the league.
Outside looking in, they're 18 and 26. They're currently 11th in the East. They're not going to get certainly not going to get any better over the next 4 to 6 weeks. Like they could.
And what can they go out and get?
They could easily slide to, 13, 14, or 15 in the East, which is last. They're not going to go get anybody. You mean to win?
No. Yeah. And that's what they've tried to do to appease Giannis, and now it seems like it's over.
It's over. I think Giannis is, trying to be as nice as possible about it, but I think he's at his wit's end.
Yeah. You could tell last night too, especially after the injury, just the devastation and the frustration. And he and Doc had some moments last night where it didn't look like they were on the same page, and it's sad, right? Like he has been.
Doc might be seeing the writing here too.
Certainly, and it did not go the way they expected it to go under him. I think their record's below 500, I want to say, or right around 500 under Doc. And if you remember, the Adrian Griffin record was like
they were like in first. They were one of the best teams in the East.
Yeah. So a lot of mistakes. Obviously,
Doc's still going to get another job somewhere, though.
He's got a good contract here. If he wants to just ride it out, I don't know if they'll keep him if they decide to trade Giannis here. But they have been so all in on him and appeasing him and trying to make this thing work. They know that they're going to hell the moment that they trade him. But right now, Jimmy, you're right. If you deal him, you're getting a substantial package. Who knows where it is a year from now? You look at what the Hawks just got for Trae Young. You look at what the Grizzlies are facing if they do move on from Ja Morant. Various other situations like that around the league. Not to say that Giannis's value will tank to that level over the next year here if you wait. But right now, today, even with this injury, you're going to get a substantial haul for him. And it does feel like time. Now, who's that going to be? Is it Atlanta? Do they feel like they're in position to do like that? Has been the team I've looked at. Houston's another interesting one.
What about New York? People always keep talking about Knicks.
They always talk about the Knicks.
You can bring back Cat and then trade him again if you're Milwaukee. They don't have future firsts in New York, which is the problem there because of the Bridges trade.
Yep.
So that's a tough one.
That's a big problem. That's a big problem because because no one is looking to move any talent and not get some draft pick compensation in return.
Right.
Oh, yeah. If they flip Cat again,
multiple first,
or two, maybe.
I don't even pick up the phone if I'm not getting multiple first.
Brooklyn could make the deal happen if they want to accelerate this timeline a bit. I think it's underrated that they owe Houston their pick next year. So they are in position to potentially move the needle ahead a little bit here. Giannis is going to miss a lot of the season, so it might make even more sense for them to do that this time if they want to continue to stay in the lottery. So I think that's an underrated team. And we'll, of course, ask about the Celtics, who you would think would even have to give up all of their depth, right? Including Derek, I'd imagine. Or obviously give up one of Tatum or Brown, which they're probably not going to do.
I think we're past that.
Did they even pick up the phone, Sherrod?
Oh, you always pick up the phone. And you hear what they got to say, and then you and then you just decide whether you want to get all in or even dip your toe in, or you just walk away. But here's the thing: when you look at the way that the NBA is going, the direction that the league is going, there seems to be a growing sense of winning by committee as opposed to winning with top shelf talent only. I think we're starting to see the shift from the days where you'd have, 3 of the top 5 players.
You can't anymore.
You're just not going to do that anymore.
Right.
If you're lucky, if you can get 2 all-star caliber players, then it may be a 3rd all-star-esque type player.
Mm-hmm.
And so that I think a team like New York, you're not going to get him because you can't give them Milwaukee any type of draft capital.
Right. They can't get rid of they're not going to get rid of Brunson, clearly. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? They don't have the.
You don't have the kind of you don't have the kind of talent where they can build.
It's just because it's New York City. People want to always bring that up, but they're just not built. They're not built to be a trade partner.
It's stunning, man. I can't believe that's where the Knicks are at. Like a month ago, right? You're feeling pretty good about them. Like they stole to me a month ago with a favorite in the East. Right now, it's a crisis. They're trading Cat. There's just all this dysfunction going on. You're wondering if
trading
the right
Cat. That's news.
I know, like that's what it feels like. It's headed toward here. I can't believe it. It deteriorated that quickly.
But you know what, though? It's a reminder of why Brad Stevens is so damn good at his job. Because while the rest of the Eastern Conference landscape is shifting and contorting and going through all this turmoil, he just put together a front court of minimum wage guys. I lost my best player for damn all season. And what do I got to show for it? Oh, I'm in second place in the damn Eastern
Unbelievable.
Conference.
Did you see in January a Knicks crisis and Celtics thriving? It's unreal.
No, but you know what though? Just looking at the way those two organizations are run, should anyone really be surprised?
No, right. You're right. We should have had more faith in the Celtics.
Yeah, I mean, if
starting to feel that way, I feel like I would think that that's like a homer take, but I actually think there's some truth to it too. There's definitely truth to it, no question.
Just look at the facts. I mean, the facts are that the Knicks built this team this year to win a championship. That was their focus. That was without question. The Celtics built their team to be competitive. And what's happened? The Celtics are actually looking as though they're closer to winning a championship this year than the Knicks are, even though the Knicks went chips all in for a championship run. And the Celtics have pared back the spending to just be competitive and have guys out there that can compete. And they're doing more than competing. They're actually winning games. I'm looking forward to seeing what the hell happens at the trade deadline with both the Celtics and the Knicks, because something's got to give. Someone is going to do something dramatic among those two teams. I believe it's probably going to be the Knicks.
Yeah, I could see them doing something dramatic for sure. The way it's going there, and
they have
whether that's from like a coaching perspective or probably more likely from a player perspective.
They can't do anything with the coaching thing. They just, they can't touch.
They just did. They just did. Yeah.
And it's not like Mike Brown is a bad coach. It's just that they're just not having the kind of success that.
Right. Yabusele was tweeting like, all right, whatever happens, happens the other day. Like he was on the verge of being traded. That thing didn't work either. The Yabusele
I love the dancing bear. I miss the dancing bear.
Yabo needs to just stick to the Olympics, international play. Call it a day.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think Giannis, again, if I had a guess, I think Atlanta's in the best position to go acquire Giannis right now. New York is certainly creeping in there, and I think he wants to be in New York, whether it's New York or Brooklyn. So it's going to be interesting.
Think he stays in the East?
I think you want to stay in the East if you're him. And Miami's another Someone in the chat mentioned them. I think they're an interesting contender. I don't see Philly.
They're always in the mix.
Yeah.
Miami.
Philly's not a contender for him, I don't think, just given some of the high price guys that they have. So, yeah, I think you're looking at Miami. You're looking at Atlanta, Toronto, certainly on the outside.
What about Philly?
Detroit could do it if they wanted to. Wouldn't that be something?
Detroit could do it because they have tons of talent, right?
Yeah. And then they solidify themselves. That's where you do not want to see him go to Detroit if you're Boston. Because then it's like slam the door. I know he's going to be out for a lot of this season, but if he's back for the playoffs and himself, it's
Detroit also like it's risky for them. They've got
so much good stuff
going on. What are they going to do? Trade for a guy that's hurt and they're not sure, is he going to get hurt again this year and kind of punt the season?
The idea of having a big three of Cade, Duren, and Giannis, oh my. Because everyone else on the team is on the block. If they were seriously thinking about Giannis. You're not going to trade Cade. You're not going to trade Duren. That's going to be your new big three.
I like Orlando for him too. I don't think they can actually do the trade, but just fit wise, and he's probably not going to go there. I think if I had to guess right now, I still say Atlanta. They got the number 1 overall pick too, potentially here. Yeah. I think you cash that in if you're them and make it happen and try to get some new momentum after Trae Young. Yeah. Do you see them against the Celtics last week? They look like a dumpster fire.
I know that. No, I know, but this season's over. They're not going to fix it. They're going to fix that. But that's why it's hard to give up that number 1 overall pick. But it is a risk. Yeah.
No, and especially with the guys coming up in this draft right here.
Right.
It's going to be interesting. I feel like he's going to move before the deadline at this point, right?
I'm not ready to say that. I have no idea. I mean, that doesn't happen that often. Or does it happen?
It's just got to be a deal that
that caliber gets traded at the deadline. I feel like that's a panic move.
I guess they could say tank this year, pick a guy high, reshuffle things this offseason, and build around him again. And he's certainly
have no reason what's their reason to trade him at the deadline? What's the Bucks' reason to trade him at the deadline?
You could get blown away now, and start your rebuild, start your reset. Thing.
Wouldn't you think that you could get quote unquote blown away in the offseason? There's more suitors. You've got the draft to work with a little bit.
For sure,
teams have figured out where they want to be. I think you're Milwaukee. You just shut down Giannis for the year. He probably would be fine with that at this point.
He probably needs it with this
cap. All the games. Yeah. Now you've got Giannis and a better pick.
And the motivation, I think, will be more on the team trying to acquire him than Milwaukee trying to unload him. Because if you're trying to acquire him, you're thinking about the playoffs. You're thinking about beyond the playoffs. You're thinking about your future with him as a central figure. And that's a sense of urgency that I don't think the Milwaukee Bucks will match right now because it doesn't matter whether he's playing or not playing. They're not very good. But he's still a very good player. So I think the market is going to dictate. Yeah, the market more than Milwaukee is going to dictate whether he gets moved. I mean, there's going to have to be a team that's going to say, okay, look, we're not playing around. We're not going to let this get to the summer where everyone is going to put their bid in. We're going to put in what we think is a really good offer. And we know it's going to have to include multiple picks. Because if you just say, we'll give you like Cat for Giannis straight up, hell to the no. That's not going to happen.
Man, it's something for me to sit here. And you guys know this is my favorite player. Not even have a thought of Celtics getting in on this. It is a weird feeling, but I think that's where they're at.
I can't see Brad getting in on this. I just don't think he has
too much depth.
Yeah,
losing too much. I think it's a depth game.
That would be uncharacteristic.
Yeah. And that's kind of how they've kind of built this. They built this team even when they were competing at the highest levels on being deep. And you look at this team now, it's their depth, not necessarily their top shelf talent that's leading the way. Jaylen's been great, but so have, guys, around him, guys like, Pritchard has had his moments, not as many as he would want or we would want, but he's had his moments. But you've gotten career seasons out of Luka. You've gotten a 19-year-old rookie. You go down the line. Anthony Simons is playing defense and getting buckets now. So that it would be out of character for them to go in for something like that, knowing that it's going to absolutely strip them of all their depth. It's just not how they operate. And we didn't even talk about the money part.
Yeah,
No.
you gotta make a match somehow, and that's either all your depth going out the door, and all your picks certainly,
Mhm.
or one of
Which is-
Tatum or
and that
Brown.
was and that was right. And that was the thinking behind making the deals that you made this summer was to get your financial house in order.
And let's
maybe-
like, let's just say this: if you believed in Brown as your main guy going into the future, if you had concerns about Tatum's health into the future, and if you thought Giannis could solidify a championship team alongside Brown and company this year, maybe you at least consider a Tatum Giannis swap. But where he's not healthy,
Bobby,
Where-
I'm not ready for this combo
Stop.
tonight.
no. I'm saying in a
No.
world where that
Come
was
on, bro.
the case. No, I'm
Jimmy,
saying in a world where
Get
that's
him,
the case.
Jimmy. Get
What does
him.
that
It's
mean? In a world where that was the case, this
In
is
a
the
world where
This
Giannis-
is our world right now.
I feel like there
Well,
should be some
Giannis
like
is-
Star Wars theme music popping in right now.
in
in
a
a
world where
world-
this is the case. Just
Where Giannis
imagine
is healthy and looks like a solidifying piece to a title. Where Tatum, you have concerns about how he's going to look going into the future off the injury. If that was all true, you'd consider it. But since
And
Giannis
this
has
will
hurt
happen.
himself and can't stay healthy, and Tatum looks like he's on
In
the
the
verge
Giannis
of coming
zone.
back here.
Yeah, those
And
are a
this
lot of
all
ifs.
happens in the Giannis zone.
You know what they say about ifs, Bobby?
Yeah. No, it's not happening.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna say it, but you know. What
And
they say.
and Brown.
I don't even know if they say it anymore. Actually, Who knows?
I don't think they say that anymore.
I don't
They
think
don't.
they do either.
They say something different.
Return games. Another one on Monday. Ready to see Drew, guys?
Yeah, he's gonna
I
get
like
a little.
Drew.
He'll get a little video tribute, and he'll get a applause.
And Rob, can Rob please play on Monday?
That's what I really want to see. I'll be honest. I really want to see Rob.
This is what you know what I want to see now. I want to see Rob and Amari on the floor at the same time.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, you may get
I
it,
think
Sherrod. It's trending.
I think for Rob Williams, it'll be almost like one of those Spider-Man memes. Like
Yeah,
you're jumping out the
second.
gym. Your last name
Yeah.
is Williams. Wait a minute.
yeah.
I
Wait.
know that guy.
Yeah.
Rob sat out yesterday, rest night back to back. So
Yeah.
he should be good to go Monday. And it will be the
It'll-
first time Robert Williams plays against his former team.
I
That
like
is
that.
insane.
I like that. Sell the tickets. Sell the tickets. All right, I think
Someone
that's it
doesn't-
for us. Saturday
Someone
night,
doesn't like what I'm saying in here.
11:30. That's okay. You can say whatever you want here, Bobby. This is our show.
I was saying a hypothetical that does not exist. I'm sorry.
This is the Saturday night
Jimmy,
show.
we tried to warn him. We tried,
Bobby. We tried to stop you in a world where this happens and that happens. And this is the scenario. That world does not exist, man. We can just simply not discuss it.
in a
It's
world that
not
Bobby has
possible.
created.
Yeah.
It does
Well,
not.
let's
That's
just say
But let's just say we'll just call it the.
this is going to
let's
end
just say
somehow
that.
with us being accused of wanting to trade Jaylen Brown. Somehow it's going to end. The combo is going to end that way.
We didn't even mention that.
I know.
Blazers lost yesterday.
Interesting
I
how
think I said.
the tides have turned a little bit here.
Playing time.
Bobby, you want to start the combo? All right, Jaylen or Tatum, you want to start that combo right now? You, gotta-
No.
Oh,
you have to
God.
decide right now. You have to decide right now in this world.
Let's
Not
end the
that other
show.
world. Not that
Yeah,
other world
that's
that
what I
you
thought.
created.
That's a real thought. We got to be. We all have to get to bed. We have to wake up tomorrow. We have to be well rested. We have to. get
Pat's
our-
minute, real quick.
Yeah, we'll do a Pats minute. We have to be well rested for the Pats tomorrow. You know what I'm
There you
saying?
go.
Get the shovels ready to go. Get the ice picks
Oh,
out. Whatever you
Lord.
need New England.
Get your bags of salt ready to sprinkle, baby.
You can't. You can't
I'm gonna
even
have
get
to do
salt.
what time's.
Hopefully
what
you already
time's
got your ice
first,
man. I heard
I
it's
do.
sold out.
I got 2 bags.
I might have to come by.
I got 2
Man,
bags.
so what are we thinking? 24? 20 to 24? In the
You have the
Boston
Pats
area?
winning 24. Oh, sorry.
No,
We're talking
that's
inches.
no total.
Sorry. Thought we were talking football.
I thought it was
There-
talking football. too. I
Bob's
was
is
just
not
like,
getting 24. Let's be real. Let's just be real. It's not going to happen. I think they're going to get over 12, though, which is a ton of snow for a city. So
Mhm.
it's going to be.
That is
I'm
a
gonna go
ton.
I already
Really
have
Too
to
much
move.
snow.
I have to move my car at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning
I'm going to go with
'Cause I'm-
16 inches.
because of this snow ban that's been going on.
I think I do too.
16. Sherrod's got it at 16.
Go
Okay.
16.
Over under is at 16.
Okay. I'll go
We'll call
over.
it 15 and a half. We'll call it 15 and a half.
That's
That's
okay.
over.
15.5.
That's
I'm
over.
going to go over. I think it's going to be a big one.
Really? You got your snow
Yeah.
pants ready? You gonna be out there?
Well, that's what I was just gonna say. What time's Pat's? 3?
3. But you're not
I'm gonna have to do.
it's not gonna be that much on the ground at 3. It's gonna be, just starting around. I heard like noonish, right?
Yeah,
Noon,
nights
1
where it's
o'clock.
picking up. So I'm gonna have to do something at halftime. Just set this because you can't procrastinate on the shoveling. You're screwed. I know it's gonna be a light, fluffy one. I heard.
I don't think you go. I don't think you go until after the game.
No, I'm gonna
6:30.
do a halftime.
6:30. Get out
Great.
there, clear it off for the night, and then you wake up
Get
at
the cars.
You wake up early and you're just buried. Oh, it's gonna
Yeah.
suck.
You can't do that. No, you gotta be out there overnight. I'll be out there like midnight sometimes. Just
Oh gosh.
Sherrod, you
no
got the
way.
snowblower?
Nah.
No, I'm old school.
we used to.
I had one up in
I don't even
upstate New York.
have to do anything. I live in an apartment building, but
Oh, of course.
back in the day,
No, that was like the wintertime income. Shoveling people's
Yeah.
driveway.
yeah, you just that's dude.
Made a
You know,
killing in upstate New York. Made a killing.
I'll tell you
Oh,
what.
Of course.
You can make if you're watching and you're like 18 to 25 years old or somewhere around there, and you want to make some money, dude. There's a lot of money in shoveling.
It is.
It's just simple. It's therapeutic, actually. Toss on some gloves so you don't get blisters. Put on some
Get your headphones on.
Just it's a good workout, stretch that back out.
It is.
Come on,
It is.
dude. You can make a killing. Or you can just be a good guy. If you're living in the burbs and you got neighbors who are old, get off your butt. Go shovel their walkway for them, Come on. Back in our day, Sherrod.
I know.
I'll help out
I did
tomorrow
both.
if anyone needs it.
Bobby's there you go, Bobby. Good man. And I will too. I actually have to clear off my friend's sidewalk. He's not around, and you can get fined in Boston if you don't clear off your sidewalk. You get a little fine in the mail. So everyone's got to make sure they do their part.
Okay.
So that's what we'll be doing on Monday.
I'll be doing
Mondays.
mine.
Mondays for shoveling.
Starting tomorrow.
Sundays for football. I have Patriots to cover. I think the defense just does their thing like they have been. I do not believe in Stidham at all. And if any team knew how to stop Stidham, it's the Patriots organization. I mean, Josh McDaniels coached the guy. So there's a lot of information that the Patriots have that I think another team wouldn't have because there's just no recent footage on Stidham and there's no info on the guy because he doesn't throwing the ball. So I think the Pats will have Stidham figured out fairly easily. And I think May's going to just do enough. And that's kind of what you got to do on the road in Denver. He's not going to go out there and throw for 300. He doesn't. I don't think he's going to have to, though. I think the Patriots offense is just going to have to do just enough. And defense
Listen, control the ball. Don't turn it over.
That's
what it comes down to.
Yeah. If Stidham is just solid, he doesn't have to be spectacular. Just be solid.
What does that mean? What does that even mean for Stidham?
I'll tell you what that means. It means making the throws you're supposed to. If a guy is open, you hit him between the numbers. Offensively, do not turn the ball over. If you're under pressure, get rid of the damn ball. Do not hold it too damn long and get stripped. To me, Josh Allen's last playoff game is the blueprint for what you do not do in the playoffs as a quarterback. Be the anti-Josh Allen, and you're going to
be the anti-Josh Allen. There you go, Jared Stidham. Be the I think he's doing a pretty good job of that so far, but maybe he'll continue that on tomorrow. I still got the Patriots.
Josh Allen last playoff game and put that as I'm going to do everything he is not doing.
Yeah,
I'll say this. I mean,
or as one commenter says, "Don't be Stroud." That's another good tip. Don't be Stroud.
Yes.
Stroud.
He was brutal. He was brutal too.
My final
give the
thought
Patriots
on it.
defense some credit, though.
Yeah. No,
gotta give them some credit.
There's 3 thoughts I have in this one. They have pummeled teams this year, which makes me feel better about them just rolling through and taking care of business, and they've done it throughout. The Broncos have not been built on Knicks this year, so I don't think losing him is like this death sentence for them. So I'm not ruling them out necessarily either.
Not ruling
I don't
them
think
out,
they're
but
relying on a quarterback. At the same time, they've had to come back in a bunch of games as well, I saw, and that Knicks has like X number of comeback drives. So it's another consideration going in. So 2 out of the 3, I'll take the Pats.
Well, the biggest
maybe
thing,
not by a
Bobby,
lot.
we haven't even mentioned it. The biggest thing Denver has going for them is the city of Denver. It's mile high, right? It's
Pats have never won there in the playoffs. As far
they
as
haven't.
I
I don't really care a ton about that. We're talking about completely different teams and rosters.
I watched the
and
15 game
situations.
this morning.
So like, I don't really get hung up on they've never won.
Though.
completely different team. But it's just a hard
time right.
It's a hard place for anybody to play.
Well, it is because of the altitude.
Yeah,
and it's real. I mean, you don't have to be an NFL player or an NBA player. If you simply are in the city of Denver and you're walking around and you're just walking, talking, breathing, just doing your normal day in, day out stuff, you feel differently. There's absolutely the altitude is real. And so you have to take that into account. It is a factor.
I'm sure that they're doing something to, they've got
simulate that.
Yeah, they've got those machines now, and they've got ways to do their best. But nothing's like the real thing. So maybe there'll be a little bit of an adjustment, and maybe you will see a Patriots a little bit more winded than they typically would be.
I think it'll take. Yeah, I think for the Patriots, I think it'll take them a minute to get into a good flow rhythm. Like, I don't expect them to come out and jump out to like 17-0 midway through the second quarter. I don't think it'll be anything like that. The key to me for the Patriots is just making sure that they just don't make the fundamental, dumb, unforced error mistakes that every team that has lost up to this point has made. Do not, botch the handoff. If your quarterback is dropping back, make sure that, that right tackle is making sure that he's doing his job so that, your quarterback doesn't get face planted, and then the ball, and next thing you know, you've got some 295-pound defensive tackle doing some weird ass dance in the end zone.
Right.
That's what you can't have.
No,
and that's something they've done at their worst this year is give the ball away.
Right.
And at the you're talking about my last point is talking about the altitude. It just makes me think about the larger guys on this team, and Patriots O-line needs to show up. It's not all Drake May who's his own issue. Will Campbell has been getting worked a little bit, and I know he's gone up against some great competition, but that might be a guy. That might be a guy that feels the altitude tomorrow.
Get the air tank. Get the tank.
I really hate to say it, but if that left side is getting bulldozed, you're right. You might have a closer game than I think. So it'll be interesting. I hope it is interesting. I think it will be. I'm still gonna take the Patriots if I'm choosing. But that's
I think we're all in agreement there.
But you know what? It doesn't matter what we say. Make sure you check out Patriots. We lost Bobby. Check out Patriots Press Pass YouTube channel because that's where the experts are going to be tomorrow. We've got a full team in Denver. Amit's there. Damn it, Amit. Bobby had to produce the show tonight because Amit's probably getting mile high in Denver as we speak, if you know what I mean. I'm just kidding. Or am I? But we're gonna have great coverage tomorrow. Taylor, Kyle's, who knows? For all we know, Xanis is in Denver. I have no idea where he is, but he could be in Denver getting ready to produce the show. So
make sure you subscribe to Pat's Press Pass.
Subscribe, Pat's Press Pass. We go live after the game on the Patriots.
They probably have
channel.
A pregame show out there, I'd imagine, with Amit out there. So check that out too.
I'll say this: I haven't talked to John yet, but I was on the Patriots postgame show after their first playoff game, going. And I am going to be home tomorrow. So,
okay. I thought you were saying.
What?
I thought you were going for some Super Bowl credentials.
Oh no, that ship has sailed. Yeah, I ain't going to Super Bowl. But you might see me on the show tomorrow. We'll see how things go.
Where's the Super Bowl this year? San Fran?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whiff.
So
too bad, but hey, what can you do? I'm told that I have it on good authority that CLNS will be well represented at the Super Bowl as well. So
one way or another.
If it gets to that point. So
all right. Good show, guys. Back to back. We killed it.
We did the best we could. That's all that matters. We left ourselves there.
Here. Yeah.
Gave it an A for effort. I'm gonna have to
make sure you go get your go get one of your sleep masks there. We still got the code.
Yeah. I'm going with the sleep gummy.
2026.
We do. We have to go 2026, 30% off in the merch store. Hard hats are selling. Guys, it's a hard hat team. I know tonight they came up short, but if they're gonna go anywhere, they're gonna need to show up and go to work. So it's a great time to buy a hard hat. But we also got the hoodies. We got Sherrod's sleep mask. He was wearing the beanie on last night's show. If you bought a beanie or a hoodie, tomorrow is beanie and hoodie weather. So I will leave it at that.
All right. Good
All
night,
right.
everybody.
That's it. Thanks, Bobby. Thanks, Sherrod. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
We're back
like
on
said,
Monday.
We back Monday with Drew Holiday and Rob Stonk Williams. We got you covered. And until then, go Patriots. Deuces.
Good night. Peace.